Hi,
Hello,
and what is your name?
I'm Keala.
Um, how long have you lived in Chicago?
Well, I was born in Texas, but I moved here about 6 months after I was born. So basically, my whole life, I was raised in Chicago.
Which neighborhood do you live in?
Right now, I live in Tinley Park, but I just came from Inglewood. I've lived in Inglewood for most of my life.
Oh, what role do you play in your community?
Um, you see, I don't really play like an exact role. I mean, I guess you could call me like I try to just be an example, like to like my cousins and whatnot, cause like they're in like gangs and whatnot. So like I go and like kind of teach them, like what it means to be about your business, to go to school, to go to church, to come home, to stay out of trouble, and like I play squash and whatnot. I'm just like a positive example of what a teenager in Chicago should look like.
And you said they're in a gang.
They are gang affiliated.
How old are they?
Um, well, I have three of them that are younger than me, and then one of them that just graduated high school, so he's like 19.
Okay. What is your definition of a community?
Okay, so in civics, we learned a community is just a group of people with the same goal or trying to reach the same, like, whatever. So a community could really be anything. Most people associated or affiliated with their neighborhood. I affiliate myself with the black community, with the Chicago teen community. Like, it's tons
It,
of communities I'm a part of.
Everyone plays a role in their community, even if you think it's small. Have you ever been impacted by your community?
Oh yes, tons of times. So like I said, I grew up in Inglewood. For those of y'all that don't know, that's like deep, dirty, the like South
Like,
Side,
mm-hmm.
right? My bad.
We'll edit that out.
um, so I just seen a lot. I seen a lot. Like I've been through a lot. I've seen people get shot like right outside my window. I've been through. I've been robbed at gunpoint. So like I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I have a whole bunch of really close family members that are gang affiliated. So yes, it impacts me a lot. I have to make sure I watch which block I go on. I can't. We can't be. I can't. We can't have family reunions on certain blocks because we be scared that we gonna get shot at. So it's kind of rough.
And you say you seen somebody get shot. Like, don't that affect you like emotionally wise?
Yeah,
Like,
I was like a kid. Didn't want to go outside no more after that, but it was cool.
okay. Um, how would your life been different if you lived in a different city or town?
Um, well, that all depends. Different meaning, like, different can mean anything. So, like, I'm
Like,
guessing.
what if you lived in New York, Manhattan? Like, how would you?
Ooh, I mean, well, I think in New York is like very similar to Chicago, so I'm not exactly sure. But like, if I lived in a different neighborhood, in like a uppity neighborhood, let's
Mm-hmm.
just say, I'd have like a better like education, like they
More like, yeah,
yeah they uppity, well not uppity, but yeah,
like
like
proper or
better, right. Got good parks and whatnot.
if you could change anything about your community, what would it be?
Um, I would change the division. Like I feel like this could trace back to even like the Willie Lynch letter and whatnot, and how there's a division between black people. I honestly feel like we should set that aside. Like I think we need to wake up and realize like who we are. Like it's already enough like hatred thrown against us. Why we gotta hate each other on top of that? That just make life even worse for us.
Yeah, I feel like it is a division. Like you got the
Yeah.
Mexican on one side, the whites up north.
It's too segregated.
Yeah.
Coming from like we supposed to have been resolved that in the 50s and 60s and whatnot, and we still living in it. That's messed up.
Even though it's like a little bit better, just a little bit, cause
Yeah, by law.
yeah,
But technically, we still have like these like preconceptions and stuff like where everything is supposed to be divided. There's always a sense of like being comfortable or not fear of the unknown. That's what a lot of people talk about. So people try to like not get themselves out there and like
stay where that's
integrate
comfortable.
themselves and whatnot. So I would really like to address the division.
How would you think your community is viewed by others?
Um, really bad. Like people view us as like really violent.
Like the
Like
worst.
yeah, like I have family down in Texas, and they like, oh, they call up here and they're like, hey, what's up, y'all good, yada yada yada, and they're like, oh, we heard this, we heard that, and they're like really concerned about us. We tell people we from Chicago, they're like, oh my God, are you okay? And it's like, shawty, chill.
Like, yeah, Chicago isn't that bad. It's just how it's like perceived.
Yeah, like, you know, we live in it, so, but outside looking in, all they see is like, all right, these many people got shot, this got robbed, this got, like, that's all they see, so that's all they know to associate with the name Chicago. We know that there's more to that, you know, they building, like, you know, decent buildings and whatnot. You know, we see the good and the bad and the ugly, so.
Okay.
I feel like I'm talking too much.
If you think this is viewed as wrong or unfair, is there a way to change your community how it's viewed?
I honestly feel like it's all traced back to like where we spend our money and where we put most of our like where we prioritize things. So like
liquor stores.
Yeah, like why are when you get in certain areas there are more vacant lots and abandoned buildings and shut down schools but liquor stores on every corner and fast food restaurants on every corner. Then you go to the other side of town and there's
pharmacies,
right, like you
that.
see really nice sidewalks, recreational centers and parks for the kids, really nice schools with iPads and like actual textbooks that they can use, and even like, you know, more Mariano's, Trader Joe's. Like we don't have that opportunity, and then they want to like try to push oh, they're obese, y'all have all these like health problems and whatnot, and they like link a lot of negativity to different different parts of a city, of this city. And it's like I feel like it's all planned out. I don't feel like it's by accident.
Yeah. All cities have to deal with issues like violence. So how does issues of violence in Chicago compare to other major cities?
Wait, did I answer your last question?
Oh, how it's viewed? No. Is it wrong to view your community right or unfair? Like, do you think it, like, how it's viewed correct?
No, I do not.
Yeah.
I think it's reasonable for people to view us as what they see, but I don't think it's fair. And that's not fair for us. It's not fair for the people who live here. No, not at all. I think it's not wrong, but it is unfair.
Okay. So how does the violence in Chicago compare to other major cities?
I mean, I honestly feel like it's about the same, or maybe even better. I honestly just feel like it's more mainstream, like it's just what they put out there and how heavily they put stuff out there. So, you know, places in like California, like let's just say like Los Angeles or something like that, like they could have much more like, you know, homicide issues and whatnot and stuff like that, but they don't like, you know, put it out there like that. Chicago, we've already earned this quote unquote reputation, so that's what people expect to see already. That's what they sell. So like, of course, it's going to be, you know, back-to-back constant, oh, this person got shot, oh, this person got this, they got mugged or whatnot. So, dang, what was the question?
How is the violence in Chicago compared to other major cities?
Right. So, I feel like it's about, it may or may not be about the same or even better. It's just what they show that makes the difference.
What are 3 top issues or concerns?
I feel like division, well, like unity/separation. I feel like we need to have a serious talk about that, either one or the other, because they both related. That's one. Right, violence is always a hefty thing. And then suicide awareness. I don't think people really, like the mental, what do you call it? Aspect of like how these events like affects people even as like an early age, and as they like, you know, grow up, it like festers in their mind and it messes them up. Like I know from experience and even just seeing it. Like I grew up fortunately living in a household where like my mom explains everything to me. She's a psychologist, so like we talk everything out. but not everybody has that. So yeah.
I can relate to you with that psychologist. Like my mom is also one, or like was one, and so she explains to me like what is happening before. Like I have to find out myself.
Exactly.
Okay. If you were in charge of the media, what would you show? Would you show the change? Would you change the perspective on how people view you or your community?
I don't think I would change anything. I feel like I wouldn't change anything. Like I wouldn't go straight from showing nothing but bad to nothing but good, because that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, people wouldn't even like give that a second thought. They'd be like, oh, that's, I mean, you have to like seriously show people some realistic results. So I'd show gradual positivity and whatnot to kind of get people, trying to like boost our reputation back up to something reasonable.
Okay. Do you see Chicago? Oh well, how do you see Chicago in the future?
I don't know. I really hope Chicago doesn't end up being like a money run city. Like, we're already an industrial city. I hope that it doesn't get like more segregated than it already is. But I mean, at the rate we're going, that's where I see it. I mean, you're gonna either have to like catch up. I feel like Chicago will be a place that'll take off, and you have to catch up before you realize that you have to. You get what I'm saying?
Elaborate.
Like Chicago is ever changing. So, and with that, like, people have to change with it, and or like try to catch up to meet the standards or like criteria, I guess. So I just feel like we're a fast moving city. Like you have to go in the direction that Chicago is going to live here.
Okay. What are some like directions that Chicago like has been going in?
Ooh, that's a good one. Come back today.
Okay, I don't think I can remember that, but okay. Are there any questions that I didn't ask you that you feel like I should ask other people in your community?
No.
Okay. Is there any comments you want to say? Concerns?
No, I feel like I said enough.
You want to go back to that question?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but
what did I say?
I don't know.
Oh, what was the direction that Chicago has gone in the past?
In the past.
Past or present?
Chicago, it fluctuates. Like, well, to me, it does. In my eyes, it does. Like, sometimes, like, we have, like, a weird random spans of, like, they'll be like, employment is, the employment rate is increasing. Now it's, like, decreasing. And then they're like, crime rate is increasing. And now it's, like, decreasing slowly. So, like, I don't really feel like there's an exact
example,
like, direction that we're traveling. I just feel like it's
always
ever changing. Yeah. And I personally feel like that's with who's in office, like who's running things, because it's systematic, the things that happens.
Okay. Well, I think this interview has gone successful. What about you?
Yeah, it was nice. I got some stuff out.
Bet.